Strong and positive family relationships are enjoyable for their own sake. It just feels good to be part of a warm and loving family. But positive family relationships are important for lots of other reasons too. They help children feel secure and loved, which gives them confidence to explore their world and try new things and learn. They make it easier for your family to solve problems and resolve conflict and respect differences of opinion. They give children the skills they need to build healthy relationships of their own. This is why it's worth maintaining and improving relationships that you share with your children and the other members of the family. There are plenty of things that we can do to develop positive family relationships. Let's go over some of them. First, quality time. Quality family time is about making the most of the time you spend together as a family. Here are some ways that you can make quality time happen in your family. Positive family relationships are an important part of strong families. So strong families grow from love, security, communication, connection, and a few rules and routines too. Use everyday time together to talk and even to share a laugh. For example, family meals and car travel can be great times to catch up on the day. Have time together when devices are turned off and out of sight. This helps to keep everyone focused on what you're doing and talking about at the time. Have one-on-one chats with each family member to strengthen individual relationships. It can just be 5 minutes before each child goes to bed. Set aside time with your partner if you have one. You could explain to your children that it's good for your relationship with your partner to have this quality time alone together. Do regular fun things together as a family. This can be as simple as a soccer game, a basketball game at the local park, maybe on Saturdays, or even family board games or card games at nights each week. Positive communication is important too. Positive communication is about listening without judgment and expressing your own thoughts and feelings openly and respectfully. It helps everybody feel understood, respected, and valued, and this strengthens your relationships. Try these positive communication ideas to strengthen your family relationships. When your child or your partner wants to talk, try to stop what you're doing and listen with full attention. Give people time to express their points of view or feelings. Be open to talking about difficult things like mistakes and all kinds of feelings, including anger, joy, frustration, fear, and anxiety. But it's best to wait until you've calmed down from strong emotions like anger before you talk about them. Be ready also for spontaneous conversations. For example, younger children often like to talk through their feelings when they're in the bath or as they're getting into bed. Plan for difficult conversations, especially with teenagers, like talks on sex, drugs, alcohol, academic difficulties, and money, or topics that families can find difficult to talk about. It helps to think through your feelings and values before these topics come up. Encourage your children with praise. For example, it's a big help when you brought the trash out without being asked, my son. Thanks so much. Or let everyone in the family know that you love and appreciate them. This can be as simple as saying, I love you to your child each night when they go to bed. Let's also look at positive nonverbal communication. Remember that not all communication happens in words, so it's important to pay attention to the feelings that your children and partner express nonverbally. For example, your teenage child might not want to talk to you, but might still come looking for the comfort of cuddles sometimes. It's also important to be aware of the nonverbal messages that you yourself send. For example, hugs and kisses and eye contact send a message that you want to be close to your child. But a grumpy tone of voice or a frown when you're doing something together might send a message that you don't want to be there. Positive communication can be about respecting someone's desire not to talk. For example, as children move towards the teenage years, they often want more privacy. But you can stay connected with your teenage child both through everyday activities and planned time together. And then there's this thing about teamwork. Teamwork is important in family relationships. When your family is working as a team, everyone feels supported and able to contribute. It's easier to work as a team when everyone understands where they stand. So it helps to have clear expectations, limits, and boundaries. You can encourage in teamwork in such ways as maybe sharing household chores. Even very young children can enjoy the feeling of belonging that comes from making a contribution. Include children in decisions about things like family activities and holidays. Give everyone, including young children, a chance to have their say before you make the final decision. Family meetings can be a good way to do this. Let children make their own or some of their own decisions, depending on your children's abilities and maturity. For example, you might let your 12-year-old child decide whether to walk, to cycle, or to ride a bus or a jeep going home from school. Create family rules together that state clearly how your family wants to look after and treat its members. For example, in our family, we speak respectfully to each other. Rules like this help everyone get along better and make family life more peaceful. Work together to solve problems. This involves listening and thinking calmly, considering options, respecting other people's opinions, finding constructive solutions, and working towards compromises. Then let's look at appreciation. Valuing each other is at the heart of good family relationships. Some ways by which we may be able to do this are: take an interest in each other's lives. Make time to go to each other's sporting event, drama performances, art shows, and so on and so forth. Things important to the other person. Include everyone in conversation when you're talking about the day's events. For example, what was the highlight for you today, little girl? Share family stories and memories. These can help children appreciate things that aren't obvious and that, or maybe things that they've forgotten, like mom's sporting achievements when she was younger, or the way the big sister or the big brother cared for the little brother after he was born. Acknowledge each other's differences, talents, and abilities, and use each other's strengths. If you praise and thank your teenage child for listening to a younger sibling reading, your child will begin to see themselves as helpful and caring. I hope that today's episode has helped broaden your understanding in ways of the different methods to strengthen family relationships. May the ties that bind families be with you always. Until next week, this is your host, Toti San Pedro.